Good afternoon to all. We are going to start with Maxwell's equation and electromagnetic waves. So the route map of our video is Maxwell's equation, electromagnetic waves and Poynting theorem. Under Maxwell's equation, we are going to see Maxwell's equation 1, 2, 3 and 4. Under electromagnetic waves, we are going to see about wave equation for electric field, magnetic field and free space. Then we are going to see about Poynting theorem. First, let's start with Maxwell's equation. Maxwell's equation, why we are deriving Maxwell's equation means for getting MMF around the path and to give the relation between MMF around the path and current density. Also, to find out the EMF around the closed path and the magnetic flux density. That is the objective of finding out Maxwell's equation. In Maxwell's equation, we have two different types of equations. One is integral form, another one is differential form. First, we are going to start with Maxwell's equation 1. In Maxwell's equation 1, we are going to use Ampere's circuital law and Stokes theorem. What is Ampere's circuital law? In Ampere's circuital law, we are going to find out the total current. Total current I will be equal to line integral of magnetic field intensity on any closed path will be equal to the total current. What is total current? Total current is nothing but the conduction current plus displacement current. What is conduction current? Conduction current is the one which passes through resistive elements, and displacement current is the one which passes through capacitive elements. Now we have in our first equation line integral h dot dl is equal to I, which is equal to surface integral j dot ds. What is this j? J is nothing but the current density. This is total current density. This total current density j will be equal to conduction current density plus displacement current density. What is conduction current density? We have to find out in the following way. That is, conduction current density, we are going to use Ohm's law. Ohm's law, IC is equal to V by R. We know, everybody know that Ohm's law is equal to, Ohm's law is finding out current. That is IC is equal to V by R. So what is R? R is the resistance and V is the voltage. R will be equal to rho L by A. Rho is what? Resistivity. L is the length of the conductor and A is the area of the conductor. Rho is resistivity. The inverse of resistivity is conductivity. Sigma is equal to 1 by rho. So instead of rho, what we are going to substitute in our equation is 1 by rho. So R becomes, instead of rho L by A, it becomes L divided by sigma A. So in our equation, what we are going to substitute, IC is equal to V by R. It is given here. So in this equation, instead of R, we are going to substitute L divided by sigma A. Okay. Now we have to simplify this equation. That is, IC is equal to V divided by L divided by sigma A. It is given here. And when we simplify this, we will get V sigma A divided by L. This is going to be our first equation. Now, already we know V is equal to E into L. Okay, E is electric field and L is length of the conductor. So what we are going to do, we are going to substitute V is equal to E into L in our first equation. That is, IC is equal to V sigma A divided by L. So in this equation, when you substitute, what happens? IC becomes E into L sigma A divided by L. Now, when you simplify this, L and L, you can cancel it, and your equation becomes IC is equal to E sigma A. This is nothing but your conduction current. Now, we have to calculate our conduction current density. Conduction current density is what? Conduction current divided by the area. So, what we have to do? IC divided by A, we have to find out. What is IC by A? From the equation, that is IC is equal to E sigma A, we can calculate the conduction current density JC. JC is equal to IC by A, which will be equal to E sigma. This is our conduction current density. This we are taking as our third equation. Now we have found out the conduction current density. Next, what we are going to do is, we are going to find out displacement current density. What is displacement current density? Displacement current is the one which passes through the capacitor. So ID will be equal to dq by dt. Q is what? Q is equal to C into V. It is known to us. So we have to substitute in the place of Q as C into V. So ID is equal to d by dt into C into V. This is what we are getting. Now C is the constant. C is what? It is nothing but the capacitance. C is the constant one. So we are taking C outside. So ID is equal to C into dV by dt. We know that C is equal to epsilon A by D. So in the place of C, we are going to substitute epsilon A by D. So our equation, fourth equation becomes ID is equal to epsilon A by D into dV by dt. Next, we have to simplify this. Already we know that V is equal to E into L. Since it is the capacitor, V is equal to E into D, E into distance. So in the place of V, we are substituting E into D. Now what we have to do, we have to substitute this here in our equation ID. So ID is equal to sigma A divided by D into d by dt of ED. This is our equation. Now we can take D outside as it is a constant value. Outside we have EA by epsilon A by D into D. So what happens? D and D are getting cancelled. And our final value becomes epsilon A into dE by dt. This is our displacement current. But we need displacement current density. What is displacement current density? Displacement current density means it is displacement current per area. So in this equation, that is ID is equal to epsilon A dE by dt, what we have to do? We have to make this equation as ID by A. So ID by A will be equal to epsilon into dE by dt. When you bring this epsilon inside your differentiation, it becomes d by dt of epsilon E. Epsilon E is nothing but D. Already we know that we have learned this in our third unit. Now it is dd by dt. So ID by A is equal to dd by dt. ID by A is nothing but displacement current density. So JD is equal to ID by A. That is equal to dd by dt. This is going to be our fifth equation. Already see our first Roman letter 1 equation, that is line integral h dot dl is equal to current I, which is equal to surface integral j dot ds. This is our Ampere's circuital law. I told you J is the total current density. Total current density is equal to conduction current density plus displacement current density. I told you. So in that place we are going to substitute. That is, instead of J, we are going to substitute JC plus JD. We have found out JC, that is C, our third equation. JC is equal to E sigma or sigma E, and JD is equal to DD by DT. This is what we are going to substitute in the place of our first Roman letter equation. So when you substitute this, what you are getting, line integral of h dot dl is equal to surface integral of sigma E plus dd by dt into ds. Normally we'll call our conduction current density as J only. Instead of JC, we'll substitute that as J. So our equation becomes surface integral J plus dd by dt into ds. So this is going to be our Maxwell's equation in integral form. Always we'll have our equation in two different forms. One is integral form, another one is differential form. So this is the first equation we have derived with Ampere's law. And with Stokes' theorem, we are going to derive the differential form of equation. What is Stokes' theorem? This is also already we have learned in our third unit. That is, line integral h dot dl is equal to surface integral of curl of our h into ds. This is our Stokes' theorem. Now what we are going to do, we are going to compare our second Roman letter equation with equation number 6. Both are having left hand side line integral h dot dl. So right hand side we can equate it. So when you equate on the right hand side, what you're getting, surface integral del cross h into ds will be equal to surface integral j plus dd by dt into ds. So when you compare these two, we are understanding that del cross h is equal to j plus dd by dt. We know J is conduction current density, so we can substitute in the place sigma E. So del cross h is equal to sigma E plus epsilon dE by dt. This is our third equation, third Roman letter equation. This is the Maxwell's equation in differential form. This is derived from Ampere's law. So next equation is Maxwell's equation 2. Maxwell's equation 2, this is being derived from Faraday's law and Stokes theorem. Already we have learned Faraday's law. What is Faraday's law? Whenever there is a change in magnetic field, EMF gets induced on it. So that is V is equal to minus d phi by dt. It is known to us already. Also phi is equal to flux density into area, that is B into A. See the hint, it is given here. Phi is equal to B into A. So what we are getting, instead of area, we can substitute surface integral of ds. So B into surface integral of ds. We can bring this B inside. So it becomes surface integral B dot ds. So in the place of phi, we are going to substitute surface integral B dot ds. So V is equal to minus d by dt surface integral B dot ds. Already we know V is equal to E into L. From that equation, the second equation what you're seeing is being derived. So V is equal to line integral of E dot dl. We can write it. Now what we are going to do, we are going to equate our first and second equation. What you're seeing here, that is your first equation is V is equal to minus d by dt double integral B dot ds, and V is equal to line integral E dot dl. These two equations we are going to equate it now. When you equate, what you are getting, line integral E dot dl is equal to minus d by dt surface integral B dot ds. So when you bring this differentiation inside your integral, it becomes dou by dou t. So minus surface integral dou b by dou t into ds. So line integral E dot dl is equal to minus surface integral dou b by dou t into ds. This is our third equation. Now B is equal to mu into h, that is known to us. So in the place of B, we are going to substitute mu into h. When you substitute this, mu is a constant, so we are taking that outside. So line integral E dot dl is equal to minus mu surface integral dou h by dou t into ds. This is going to be our first equation. This is the Maxwell's equation 2 in integral form. Next, we are going to find out the Maxwell's equation 2 in differential form. For that, we are going to use Stokes theorem. Stokes theorem, already we saw that for magnetic field intensity. Now we are going to see for electric field density. So line integral E dot dl, that is electric field dot dl, is equal to surface integral del cross E into ds. This is going to be our fourth equation. Now what you're going to do, you're going to equate your equation number 3, 4 and our equation number 1. That is our Roman letter equation number 1 we are going to equate. So when you equate these equations, what you will get, in all the equations we are having left hand side as line integral E dot dl. So we can equate it. So when you equate it, you will get surface integral del cross E is equal to surface integral del cross E into ds is equal to minus mu surface integral dou h by dou t into ds, which will be equal to minus surface integral dou b by dou t into ds. So when you equate all these equations, you are getting del cross E is equal to minus mu into dou h by dou t, which is equal to minus dou b by dou t. This is our Maxwell's equation 2 in differential form. This also will be called as point form. This is being derived from Faraday's law. Next, we are going to see about Maxwell's equation 3. Maxwell's equation 3 and 4 are being derived from Gauss law. Maxwell's equation 3 is derived from electric Gauss law. Maxwell's equation 4 will be derived from magnetic Gauss law. Maxwell's equation 3, we are deriving from electric Gauss law and divergence theorem. What is Gauss law? The electric flux emerging through any closed surface is equal to charge enclosed by that surface. That is psi is equal to Q. What is psi? Already we know, according to Gauss law, surface integral d dot ds is equal to Q. It is known to us. Also, see the hint, rho v, that is charge in volume, is equal to dq by dv. From that, we can write dq as dq is equal to rho v into dv. So if you find out Q, we can write this as volume integral rho v into dv. So Q is equal to volume integral rho v into dv. This is also one of the equation. That equation we are taking that as our second equation. So our first equation is surface integral d dot ds is equal to Q. Our second equation volume integral rho v dv is equal to Q. So what we can do, we can equate our first and second equation, which is going to bring the integral form of our Maxwell's equation 3. So our equation becomes surface integral d dot ds is equal to volume integral rho v dv. This is going to be our first equation. Next, we are going to find out the Maxwell's equation 3 in point form. For that, we are going to use divergence theorem. What is divergence theorem? It is going to relate the surface integral with volume integral. That is, surface integral of d dot ds is equal to volume integral del dot d into dv. This is our divergence theorem. So, we are going to compare our second equation and third equation. What is the second equation? Our second equation is, we are going to compare our first Roman letter equation and third equation. What is the Roman letter 1 equation? It is surface integral d dot ds is equal to volume integral rho v into dv. That is our first Roman letter equation. Left hand side we have surface integral of d dot ds. This equation we are going to compare with our third equation. What is the third equation? There is surface integral d dot ds is equal to volume integral del dot d into dv. So in this equation also you are having left hand side as surface integral d dot ds. So what you have to do, you can equate the right hand side of your first Roman letter equation, that is volume integral rho v dv, with your third equation, that is del dot d into dv. So when you equate these equations, from this equation what you are getting, volume integral del dot d into dv is equal to volume integral rho v into dv. So we can equate del dot d is equal to rho v. We are understanding this. So this is going to be our Maxwell's equation from Gauss law in differential form. Next one is our Maxwell's equation 4. Our Maxwell's equation 4 we are going to derive from magnetic Gauss law and divergence theorem. What is magnetic Gauss law? The total magnetic flux through any closed surface is equal to 0. That is, surface integral of d dot ds is equal to 0. This is going to be our first equation, and this is the Maxwell's equation in integral form. It is a very simple one. And the second one is our divergence theorem. By applying divergence theorem for flux density, how will you get it? Surface integral b dot ds is equal to volume integral del dot b into dv. This is going to be our second equation. Now see the first and second equation, both are having left hand side as surface integral b dot ds. So right hand side can be equated. When you equate the right hand side, what you are getting, volume integral of del dot b into dv is equal to 0. So we can say that del dot b is equal to 0. This is the Maxwell's equation in differential form or point form. So we have seen the Maxwell's equation 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 equations we have seen. Now we are going to see the consolidated equations, that is in differential form and in integral form. See the differential form. The first equation, it is derived from Ampere's circuital law, that is del cross H is equal to sigma E plus dou D by dou T. And the integral form of equation is line integral H dot dl is equal to surface integral sigma E plus dou D by dou T into ds. Our second equation is what? It is derived from Faraday's law, that is del cross E is equal to minus dou B by dou T, or otherwise you can and the integral form of equation is line integral E dot dl is equal to minus surface integral dou B by dou T into ds. Our third equation is derived from electric Gauss law. In differential form we can write that as del dot D is equal to rho V, and in integral form we can write that as surface integral d dot ds is equal to volume integral rho V into dv. Our fourth equation is derived from magnetic Gauss law, that is In differential form, we are writing that as del dot B is equal to 0, and in integral form, we are writing that as surface integral B dot ds is equal to 0. So these are the 4 equations we have learned in Maxwell's equation. Next, we are going to learn the Maxwell's equation in free space. In free space, there is no charges enclosed. Also, there is no conductivity. So what happens? Rho v is equal to 0 and sigma also equal to 0. Now, there is no conduction current, so IC is equal to 0. Since IC is 0, current density JC also will be equal to 0. So, see here, that is rho v is equal to 0, sigma is equal to 0, IC is equal to 0, and JC also is equal to 0. Now, the 4 equations what we have learned under Maxwell's equation, we are going to substitute all these conditions. Rho v is equal to 0, sigma is equal to 0, IC is equal to 0, and JC is equal to 0. When you substitute in the first equation, del cross H is equal to JC plus dou d by dou t, or otherwise sigma E plus dou d by dou t. In free space, I told you that sigma is 0. So what happens? Our first equation becomes del cross H into dou d by dou t. This is the differential form in free space. That is our Maxwell's equation 1. And when you see your integral form, what you are having is line integral H dot dl is equal to surface integral sigma E plus dou d by dou t into ds. We know that sigma is equal to 0. So in integral form, line integral H dot dl is equal to surface integral. As sigma becomes 0 in integral form, we have only dou d by dou t into ds. So see the first equation in integral form under free space. So what you are having? Line integral H dot dl is equal to surface integral dou d by dou t into ds. Here also sigma term vanishes. Now we are going to write for our second equation. There is no rho term or sigma term or IC here. So we are writing our second equation, Maxwell's equation 2 as such. That is del cross E is equal to minus dou B by dou T in differential form, and in integral form, line integral E dot dl is equal to minus surface integral dou B by dou T into ds. And our third equation in Maxwell's equation is del dot D is equal to rho V in differential form. So what happens when it comes to the free space? In free space, rho v is equal to 0. So del dot d is equal to 0. Next, see your integral form. There also surface integral d dot ds is equal to volume integral rho v dv. Here also rho v becomes 0. So surface integral d dot ds is equal to 0. Now we are going for our fourth equation, Maxwell's equation 4. In Maxwell's equation 4, we have del dot b is equal to 0 under differential form, and surface integral b dot ds is equal to 0 in integral form. This remains the same since there is no the charge term or sigma term or IC term. So these are the Maxwell's equation what we have learned. Next topic what we are going to see is electromagnetic wave. What is wave? Wave is the signal which is going to transport the energy from source to the destination. It will be normally the function of space and time. We know the TV signal, radio waves, radar beams, and light rays. Now what we are going to see is we are going to write the wave equation. We are going to write the wave equation for electric field, magnetic field, and free space. 3 topics we are going to see. So first let's see about wave equation for electric field. This is the wave equation for electric field which is derived from Maxwell's equation. So what are all the equations we are going to use? In Maxwell's equation, take Maxwell's equation 1, 2 and 3. First 3 equations we are going to take. First 3 equations you will take and you will use it for deriving this electric field wave equation. So del cross E is equal to dou B by dou T. That is the equation derived from Maxwell's. That is the equation derived from Maxwell's equation, Faraday's law. That is, see here, del cross E is equal to dou B by dou T. That is our second equation. And what we have to do, we have to take curl on both the sides. Taking curl means what? Del cross the particular function we have to take. Left hand side we have del cross E. So we have to take curl. Curl of the function means we have to find out del cross E. That's it. So on the right hand side also we have to take the curl function. When you take curl, it becomes mu is the constant. So what we are doing is minus mu, we are keeping it aside and we are taking the curl for dou H by dou T. So it becomes del cross dou H by dou T, which is our first equation. So see our first equation, del cross E is equal to minus mu into del cross dou H by dou T. This is the equation derived from Maxwell's equation from Faraday's law. That is our second equation. Next, we are going to take the Maxwell's equation from Ampere's circuital law. That is del cross H is equal to sigma E plus dou D by dou T. See our first equation in differential form. You can find out that. So take that equation. Now what you're going to do, see your second equation, it is same. That is what we have seen previously. That is the Maxwell's equation from Ampere's law in point form. Now we are going to differentiate this equation 2. So when you differentiate this equation 2, it becomes del cross dou H by dou T is equal to dou by dou T of sigma E plus epsilon dou E by dou T. So what we have to do, we have to bring this dou by dou T on the right hand side. That is dou by dou T of sigma E plus epsilon dou E by dou T term. We have to multiply inside. So that becomes sigma into dou E by dou T plus epsilon into dou square E by dou T square, which is our third equation. Now we have found out del cross dou H by dou T. What we are going to do, this equation, we are going to see our first equation. In that we have the same term, that is minus mu into del cross dou H by dou T. In that place, we are going to substitute our equation 3. So when you substitute that, your equation 1 becomes del cross E is equal to minus mu into del cross H, dou H by dou T is there. In that place, we are going to substitute the third equation, that is sigma into dou E by dou T plus epsilon into dou square E by dou T square. Now, we can multiply minus mu inside. So it becomes, equation becomes minus mu sigma into dou E by dou T minus mu sigma into dou square E by dou T square. This is going to be our fourth equation. Next, according to identity, we have this formula, that is del cross E is equal to del into del dot T minus dou square E by dou square E. So this is our fifth equation. We are taking this as our fifth equation. Now what you have to do, take your Maxwell's equation 3. That is del dot D is equal to rho V. That is in differential form. Maxwell's equation 3 in differential form. See that del dot D is equal to rho V. That we are taking. Del dot D is equal to rho V. Since within the conductor there is no charge inside, rho V we are taking that as 0. So del dot D is equal to 0. Already we know D is equal to epsilon E. So del dot epsilon E is equal to 0. Now the epsilon is a constant. So what we can do, we can take this outside and we can make our del dot E is equal to 0. We are understanding that del dot E is equal to 0. So take this del dot E is equal to 0 and see a fifth equation and substitute in that place. That is del cross del dot E is there, right? So in that place we have to substitute del dot E, we have to substitute. When you substitute that, what you are getting, that term vanishes. So yeah, so what happens here? Del cross E is equal to minus del square E. This is going to be your seventh equation. Now what you're going to do, you're going to compare your seventh equation and your equation number 4. What is your equation number 4? See here. See your equation number 4. That is del cross E is equal to minus mu sigma into dou E by dou T minus mu epsilon into dou square E by dou T square. This is your equation number 4. In your equation number 4, you have, in your left hand side, you have del cross E. In the same way, in the 7th equation also, we have del cross E as our left hand side is equal to minus del square E. Now we can equate the right hand side of our 4th equation and our 7th equation. When you equate, what you are getting is, you are going to equate and simplify it. You are getting del square E is equal to mu sigma dou E by dou T plus mu epsilon dou square E by dou T square. So we are bringing all the right hand side part to the left hand side. So it becomes del square E minus mu sigma into dou E by dou T minus mu epsilon into dou square E by dou T square is equal to 0. This is the wave equation for electric field. This is the first equation we have derived. Next part, what we are going to see is wave equation for magnetic field. That is, for magnetic field H, we are going to derive. This is the second part of electromagnetic wave equation. So, for deriving this, what are all the equations we are going to take from Maxwell's equation? In your Maxwell's equation, I told you that we have 4 equations, Maxwell's equation 1, 2, 3 and 4. So in this we are going to take 1, 2 and 4th equation. What is our first equation? Del cross H is equal to sigma E plus dou D by dou T. Second equation is del cross E is equal to minus dou V by dou T. And the 4th equation is del dot B is equal to 0. That is our Maxwell's equation in differential form we are taking, and we are going to use it. Now let's start with Maxwell's equation for magnetic field. So we are taking the first equation, Maxwell's equation 1, which is being derived from Ampere's law. Del cross H is equal to sigma E plus dou D by dou T, which is equal to sigma E plus dou D by dou T can be written as D is equal to epsilon E, so it can be written as epsilon dou E by dou T. Now what we are going to do, we are going to take curl on both the sides. As I told you earlier, taking curl means what? We have to do del cross that function. So we have to take del cross H, which will be equal to right hand side also you have to take the curl. So del cross sigma E plus epsilon dou E by dou T. So now multiply inside, take the curl inside. Your value becomes del cross sigma E. Sigma E is sigma E is a constant one. Sigma is a constant value. So you can take sigma outside. So it becomes del cross E plus del cross epsilon dou E by dou T you will get. In that second term, epsilon is a constant one. So you have to take epsilon into del cross dou E by dou T. This is going to be a 9th equation. Just we are simplifying the equation. That's it. Nothing more than that. Next, what we are going to do is, we are going to take Maxwell's equation from Faraday's law. That is our Maxwell's equation 2 we are going to take. What is our Maxwell's equation 2? That is del cross E is equal to minus dou B by dou T. B we know it is mu into H. So mu is a constant value. So del cross E is equal to minus mu into dou H by dou T. That is also known to us. Now we are going to substitute that here. So when you substitute that here, that is del cross E is equal to minus mu into dou H by dou T. See our equation number 10. This is the equation, Maxwell's equation from Faraday's law. Del cross E is equal to minus mu into dou H by dou T, which is nothing but minus dou B by dou T. The same equation only. Now what we are going to do, we are going to differentiate our equation number 10. When you differentiate your equation number 10, del cross dou E by dou T is equal to minus mu into dou square H by dou T square. This is going to be our equation number 11. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to take our equation number 10 and 11, that is del cross E and del cross dou E by dou T. These two things we are going to substitute in equation number 9. What we are having in equation number 9, del cross H is equal to sigma into dou E plus epsilon into del cross dou E by dou T. In the place of del cross E and del cross dou E by dou T, we are going to substitute here. So when you substitute, the equation number 10 and 11 Your equation number 9 becomes del cross H is equal to sigma into minus mu dou H by dou T plus epsilon into minus mu dou square H by dou T square. We have to multiply this term inside. That is sigma you multiply inside. You will get minus mu sigma dou H by dou T minus mu epsilon dou square H by dou T square. That is going to be our 12th equation. Just we have simplified the equation. According to identity, we know del cross H is equal to del into del dot H minus dou square H, del square H. Already we have seen this in the previous thing also for electric field. Right, now what we are going to do is we are going to take Maxwell equation 4. See your Maxwell's equation 4, del dot B is equal to 0. This is your Maxwell's equation 4. So this equation we are going to take and we are going to substitute here. Del dot B is equal to 0. We know that B is equal to mu into H. So from this mu is a constant. So what we have to do? Del dot H is equal to 0 obviously. So del dot H is equal to 0. We are going to substitute in the place of 13th equation. So del into del dot H term itself vanishes. So what happens? Del cross H is equal to minus del square H. That's what we are getting. That is going to be our 14th equation. Now what you're going to do, you're going to equate your 14th equation with the previous equation, that is see your 12th equation which is there at the down of your PPT, that is del cross H is equal to minus mu sigma into dou H by dou T minus mu epsilon dou square H by dou T square. In this you have left hand side del cross H. So we can equate our 12th equation with our 14th equation, that is del cross H is equal to minus del square H. So when you equate these two equations, when you simplify it, you are getting mu sigma dou H by dou T plus mu epsilon dou square H by dou T square is equal to del square H. So when you simplify this, you will get del square H minus mu sigma dou H by dou T minus mu epsilon dou square H by dou T square is equal to 0. This is going to be our 15th equation, that is the wave equation for magnetic field. So till now we have seen the wave equation for electric field and magnetic field. Next what we are going to see is wave equation for free space. Wave equation for free space will be derived from these two equations what we have derived. That is, we have derived the wave equation for electric field and we have derived the wave equation for magnetic field. From these two equations only we are going to derive the wave equation for free space. So our 8th equation what we have seen here, see here, that is the wave equation for electric field. I told you, see this equation carefully. And in the same way our 15th equation, this is the equation, wave equation for magnetic field. These two equations you are going to use and you are going to find out the wave equation for free space. In your free space, sigma value is 0 and rho v is equal to 0 as we have seen already. So our equation 8, which is the wave equation from electric field, that is rho square E minus mu into sigma dou E by dou T minus mu epsilon dou square E by dou T square is equal to 0. That is our 8th equation. And our 15th equation, that is wave equation for magnetic field, dou square H minus mu sigma dou H by dou T minus mu epsilon dou square H by dou T square is equal to 0. These two equations we are going to take and we are going to substitute sigma is equal to 0 and rho v is equal to 0. So see the middle term of your 8th equation. See the middle term of your 8th equation, that is mu sigma dou E by dou T. In this term we are having sigma. So sigma is equal to 0. So the middle term of your 8th equation vanishes. And see the 15th equation. And in your 15th equation, middle part also, that is you are having mu minus mu sigma dou H by dou T. In that also you are having sigma. So the middle term of your 15th equation also vanishes. So how your 8th and 15th equation becomes? Your 8th equation becomes del square E minus mu epsilon into dou square E by dou t square is equal to 0, which is going to be your 16th equation. And your 15th equation becomes del square H minus mu epsilon dou square H by dou t square is equal to 0, which is going to be your 17th equation. So from your 8th and 15th equation, your middle term alone vanishes as sigma becomes 0. This is going to be your wave equation for free space. So till now we have seen the electromagnetic wave equation for electrical field, magnetic field and free space. Now we are coming to the third topic. Okay, before third topic we are having means in free space itself we are having mu is equal to mu r and epsilon r is equal to 1. Mu r is equal to 1 and epsilon r is equal to 1. So what we are going to do, in the place of mu we are going to substitute mu naught into mu r. In the place of mu we are going to substitute mu r into mu r. So our 16th and 17th equation becomes del square E minus mu naught epsilon naught, that into mu r epsilon r will be there, which becomes 1 into dou square E by dou t square is equal to 0. This is our 18th equation. Next one is our del square H minus mu naught epsilon naught into mu r epsilon r will be there, which becomes 1 into dou square H by dou t square is equal to 0. This is going to be your equation number 19. What is mu naught value? Mu naught value we know it is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. Our epsilon naught value is 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12. So mu naught epsilon naught, if you find out, you are getting some value, right? So now what you are going to find out is 1 by square root of mu naught epsilon naught, which is equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. What is this? It is nothing but the velocity of light. So I can write my V as V is equal to 1 by square root of mu naught into epsilon naught. So V square becomes 1 by mu naught into epsilon naught. So what I'm going to do, what is my idea? Instead of mu naught epsilon naught, I can substitute 1 by V square. So in the place of 18th and 19th equation, in the place of mu naught epsilon naught, I'm going to substitute 1 by V square. So del square E minus 1 by V square into dou square E by dou t square is equal to 0. I'm rewriting my 18th equation as del square E minus, instead of mu naught epsilon naught, I'm going to write I'm going to substitute 1 by V square into, next term is what? Dou square E by dou t square, which is equal to 0. That's what I've written on the down part of your PPT. And what happens to our 19th equation? There also we have mu naught epsilon naught. In the place of mu naught epsilon naught, we can substitute 1 by V square. So del square H minus 1 by V square into dou square H by dou t square is equal to 0. So these are the two equations we have derived for free space. Next topic what we are going to see is Poynting theorem. So with the help of electromagnetic waves, energy is transferred from the source to the destination. It is known to us. Now what we are going to see, the energy stored in electric field and magnetic field will be transmitted at a particular rate of energy flow. We have to calculate this. This can be calculated with the help of the theorem which is called Poynting theorem. So we have one more term which is called as Poynting vector. What is this Poynting vector? Our electric field E and magnetic field H, we are going to find out the cross product of these two terms, which is going to be our Poynting vector. So S vector is equal to E vector cross H vector. What is E vector? It is nothing but your electric field. What is H vector? It is nothing but your magnetic field. So S vector is equal to E vector cross H vector. Now we know E cross H means we can write that as EH sin theta. EH sin theta. C S is equal to, we have written here, S is equal to EH sin theta. Now E and H are perpendicular to each other. That is, the electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. So theta is 90 degree. When theta is 90 degree, what happens? Sin 90 will be 1. So we are making S value as E into H. S is equal to EH, sin theta becomes S is equal to E into H as sin 90 is 1. Now we know that V is equal to E into L. From that we can derive E is equal to V by L and H is equal to Ni by L. These two things known to us. So substitute these two values here instead of E and H. So what will you get? Your resultant what you're getting is Vi by L square. So your Pointing vector S is equal to Vi by L square. What is Vi? It is nothing but power. L square is area. So pointing vector S vector is equal to power divided by area. Next, we are going to derive the pointing theorem. We are taking pointing vector, that is S vector is equal to E vector cross H vector. Now, we are going to take divergence on both the sides. So del dot S vector is equal to del dot E vector cross H vector. This is going to be our second equation. Already we know that del dot A cross B, already we have learned this. Del dot A cross B is equal to B vector into del cross A minus A vector into del cross B. This one we are going to substitute for E cross H, that is del dot E cross H. Instead of A, you are having E. Instead of B, you are having H. So what you're going to do is, you're going to find out del dot E cross H. What is del dot E cross H? According to your equation number 3, we are going to write our equation number 4, that is del dot E cross H. Del dot E cross H will be equal to, instead of B, you are having H. I told you, instead of A, you are having E. So your equation becomes H dot del cross E minus E dot del cross H. This is going to be our fourth equation. Now what you're going to do, you're going to substitute your fourth equation in our second equation. What is our second equation? It is del dot S is equal to del dot E cross H. So instead of this del dot E cross H, you're going to substitute our equation number 3. Equation number 4. So what you will get, del dot S is equal to H dot del cross E minus E dot del cross H. Now what you are going to do is, we are going to apply Maxwell's equation. Already we know, according to Faraday's law, del cross E is equal to minus dou B by dou T. According to Ampere's circuital law, del cross H is equal to J plus dou by dou T of epsilon E. This is known to us, Maxwell's equation 1 and 2. So in the place of del cross E, we are going to substitute minus dou B by dou T. In the place of del cross H, we are going to substitute J plus dou by dou T of epsilon E. So substitute that here. Our equation becomes H into minus dou B by dou T minus E vector into J plus dou by dou T of epsilon E. So next step, what we have to do, obviously we have to multiply inside. So minus H into dou by dou T of B. B is what? Mu H. So instead of B, I have written mu into H. Minus, next term you multiply inside, it becomes EJ minus E into dou by dou T of epsilon E. So when you simplify this equation, what you are getting, del dot S is equal to minus mu H dou H by dou T minus EJ minus epsilon E into dou E by dou T. This is going to be our fifth equation. Now, see a fifth equation. In that you are having H into dou H by dou T one term. And see the third term, you are having E into dou E by dou T. That is another term you are having. We are going to, now our objective is to simplify these two terms only. So for doing that, what you are doing, we are taking dou by dou T of half H square. What is dou by dou T of half H square? It is nothing but H into dou H by dou T. So in the place of fifth equation, I told you that you are having H into first term minus mu into H into dou H by dou T. Instead of H into dou H by dou T, you are going to substitute dou by dou T of half H square. Next, see the third term of your fifth equation, that is minus epsilon E into dou E by dou T. Instead of E into dou E by dou T, we are going to use the next part, that is when you're taking dou by dou t of half E square, what happens? It is E into dou E by dou t. So instead of E into dou E by dou t, we are going to substitute dou by dou t of half E square. So this is going to be our sixth equation. This sixth equation we are going to substitute in our fifth equation in the place of h into dou h by dou t and E into dou E by dou t. So when you substitute this, what happens? When you substitute your sixth equation in the place of your fifth equation, it becomes del dot S is equal to minus mu dou by dou t of half h square minus Ej minus epsilon into dou by dou t of half E square. Now, what you have to do, you have to simplify this, bringing your mu inside your dou by dou t. So it becomes minus dou by dou t of half mu h square minus E into j minus dou by dou t of half epsilon E square. What is mu into h square? We know that mu into h is b. Okay, you have to remember that. And epsilon into E is what? It is nothing but r d. Now, what you have to do, you have your minus Ej alone on the left hand side, on one side, and bring all the other terms to the other side. So what happens? Minus Ej is equal to del dot S plus dou by dou t of half mu h square plus dou by dou t of half epsilon E square. So our equation is minus Ej is equal to del dot S plus dou by dou t of, we can take dou by dou t outside, dou by dou t of half mu h square plus half epsilon E square. This is going to be our seventh equation. This is our pointing theorem in point form. Next, what you have to do, you have to integrate this equation. When you integrate this equation, what happens? Minus volume integration we are taking, minus volume integral of Ej dv is equal to volume integral of del dot E cross H. Instead of S, we are substituting E cross H. What is S? It is nothing but our pointing vector. Pointing vector is E cross H. So instead of S, we substitute E cross H into dv plus dou by dou t of integral v half mu h square plus half epsilon E square into dv. Now we have to take the divergence theorem for only one term. Which term we are going to take divergence theorem? That is integral v del dot E cross H into dv. The center term you can see. Integral v del dot E cross H into dv. Only for this term you are going to take the divergence theorem. Divergence theorem is the one which is going to equate the volume integral with surface integral. So it becomes surface integral of E cross H is equal to into ds. So in the place of a third equation, third term, we are going to substitute surface integral of E cross H into ds. So our equation becomes minus volume integral Ej dv is equal to surface integral E cross H into ds plus dou by dou t of volume integral of half mu h square plus half epsilon E square into dv. This is going to be our pointing theorem in integral form. So this is our eighth equation. So what are these terms indicates? That is, you have minus integral Ej dv, you have surface integral E cross H ds, and we have the third term as dou by dou t of volume integral half mu h square plus half epsilon E square dv. What are these terms indicate? That is our first term, that is minus volume integral Ej dv is energy lost. That will be equal to the summation of other two terms. What are the other two terms? That is dou by dou t of volume integral of half mu h square plus half epsilon E square into dv. That indicates the energy stored. And the next term is surface integral of E cross H into ds. That indicate the energy outflow per unit volume. So what happens? Energy lost is equal to energy stored plus energy outflow. This is our final equation. Till now what we have seen is Maxwell's equation